Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode. So it's a little bit soggy here in the yard. It has been raining for about 3 days straight. So there's a lake in the parking lot, big puddle underneath the boat. Fox is super excited because she's finally allowed off the boat. We didn't want to take her off during the rain because it was so muddy. We do have new neighbors, so little sister was hauled out and they've been put right beside us. Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my fiance Davey. We are living aboard our new to us hurricane-damaged catamaran, Barefoot 2.0. We met in Fiji 3 years ago and have experienced so many beautiful places together. For the past 2 years, we've made the ocean our home, starting on our Catalina 36 in the States and the Northern Caribbean. We hope to one day circumnavigate the globe, but for now we are fixing our boat one step at a time. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. When faced with a challenge, look for a way, not a way out.
Alright, morning guys. So it's finally stopped raining. It's been raining for about 3 days. Again, working in the puddles. But I'm really happy because I've got an electric sander, which is actually 12 volt and it's a lithium battery. So I'm going to give that a crack this morning. Since I'm standing in a puddle, I definitely don't want to be using power leads. And it's even got its own built-in little dust collector. So going to give that a go this morning. Fantastic. Okay guys, so another job I've got going on this morning. If you remember Stephen from Little Sister, he's now our neighbor here in the yard. He has some osmosis issues, so we're going to start to look at those this morning. So just looking here at the back transom, this is where you can see some bubbling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand back this area to see what we find. And then later on, when other areas dry, we'll do some other investigation. But we want to do some investigation to find out what areas need to be peeled, which areas just need to be sanded. So let's have a little crack at this one and see what we find. All right, so what we can see here, where this just gel coat is exposed, sanding it back has basically hidden the osmosis bubbles. Quite often when you do it on an area that has bottom paint on it, you can actually see where the bubbles are. Here it's actually hidden them. So this whole section here will definitely get peeled back. Okay guys, so I just did a little bit of exploratory sanding below the waterline. These areas down here that it's not very visible, not very clear that there is any osmosis. So I decided to sand back a little bit. If you notice here, I just actually cut it. I'm actually having to refilm this because the GoPro played up again. But once you find these little bubbles and you find it, there's little moisture in there and it smells like vinegar. So I checked here, then I checked here. You see again the moisture is there. It's not a lot, but it's definitely there. And then I came further up to the bow section and I did another bit. So I wanted to check multiple areas. So you can see the moisture is out on the outside here. It's starting to dry because I've opened up the bubbles. But you can definitely smell it. It smells just like vinegar. So the decision has been made. Little sister will be getting a complete peel and then we'll build it back up from there.
Good morning guys!
And it's road trip day.
Yes, we're going on another road trip. Hopefully this one is more successful than the last.
Yeah, well this time we're actually going to a store. We know the prices of most stuff there. So we're going to go and pick up the epoxy we need to do the repairs on the boat.
Oh, it's a bit heavy.
So we're also testing the new microphone.
Yeah.
So hopefully the sound quality is going to get better in some of the videos.
Yep.
Less wind noises. But we can't use this microphone when we're doing sanding and grinding because it's just too dusty for the camera and the mic. But for road trips and days out.
So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Santo Domingo.
You got it right.
I got it right.
So unfortunately the new mic was not working at this point. But what Davey is saying is we stopped on the side of the road on the way to Santo Domingo. We found roast pork. Davey really loves roast pork. It's one of his favorite meals. So we stopped here at one of the little stands on the side of the road in the Dominican Republic to have roast pork. It was awesome. Really good. So we stayed in a very nice boutique hotel very close to the Colonial district in Santo Domingo. The Colonial City is the historic central neighborhood of Santo Domingo and the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the Americas. It has been declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. While walking around this area, it reminded both myself and Davey of a town in Malaysia, Georgetown in Penang. Georgetown is a very special city as well. There's lots of street art. It's a colonial city. It just had a very beautiful charm similar to the colonial district here in Santo Domingo.
Erica's got the giggles on because there's an IKEA here in Santo Domingo, and I used to live in Norway, and in Norway and in the rest of Scandinavia, because I think it came from Sweden, but anyway, they do 10 krona pulse, which is like $1 hot dogs, and they're kind of famous, and so are the meatballs, the Swedish meatballs.
I think Fox likes the idea too. She's just rolling around.
Fox is very happy that we stayed in a hotel because she gets to sleep on a bed. Yeah, baby.
She said a big poo.
Why did you have to say that on camera?
Because it is something.
But she didn't do it in the bed though, we went outside. She did very well. Yep, so no, but we're gonna go and get Taco Bell first for Stephen. And then
You want
IKEA.
McDonald's?
I'm gonna get that in Santiago.
Okay.
And then pick up the resin. And then after that, what have we got to do? Then Santiago for
Then
shopping.
Santiago for the paint and Jumbo.
Jumbo, yeah.
So Jumbo is like a big supermarket type store. You can get basically anything you want.
It's like the Dominican Walmart. Haha! I found the sausages, the hot dogs in IKEA. See? It's the little buns. And there's the sausages over there. I'm gonna have 2. You having one? Okay, so we're gonna get 3 hot dogs. Okay, sorry guys, gonna have to leave it there. Gotta eat hot dogs. Okay guys, so welcome to Residom. This is a fantastic place. They are the main distributors of all types of resin here in the Dominican Republic. So if you happen to be here, you need some supplies, this is your place to go. They are very, very good with customer service. Okay guys, a little tour of the factory here. Unfortunately, we were having more problems with the microphones. This is a little bit of a voiceover. But this is the guys pouring out. They've mixed the resin, given it a good shake up. We've been guaranteed that it hasn't been on the shelf for too long, and pouring it out nicely into gallon jugs for us to take home. They've also got lots of other products there with the matting, fillers, pigments, and everything else you can imagine that you'd want. So this is definitely the place to be.
Hey guys, so we've made it back from Santo Domingo. We got home last night about 6.
About 6 o'clock, got back, unloaded. We got the 15 gallons of epoxy resin we needed, so stashed that in the container. Yep. And yeah, good to be home. It was a bit buggy when we got home though, but this morning Erica went to the box pack and picked up what she ordered on Amazon the other day, and we got some Skin So Soft that everyone's been recommending, so we're going to give that a go. We'll let you know how it works.
Fingers crossed it works well.
Yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So we're going to crack on with fixing the boat. Now we've got materials and supplies. So it's just a case...
We're just going to keep plugging away.
Just a case of actually doing the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so this morning's first project. I've got lots of projects on today. So Erica's going to shoot into town, get some money out the ATM, and I'm going to crack on with a few projects. But we've noticed here in our bilge, and we're getting lots of water in it. So it's fresh water, not salt water, obviously, because we're on the hard. Not 100% sure where it's coming from. We did have that issue, if you remember, that Erica fixed with the cockpit drain. So it could be that. But what we're going to do is also, we've got a hot water tank under here. Every now and again, I think once it gets to full pressure or something, maybe it vents a little bit and leaks. We've got a little dish under there to try and catch some of the water. And there is also an issue with the engine room. So I'm going to do a few checks. I'll explain the engine room one in a moment when we go out there. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump out, I'm just going to use the shop vac. I'm going to suck out the water from the bilge so it starts to dry. Because obviously, again, that's not a good thing when we're trying to dry out the keels. We know we've got a small crack in the hull down there because we were taking on salt water. So to dry the keels, we definitely got to get rid of the water on the inside as well. So that's the first project today, dry the bilge. And then I'm going to take you into the engine room and show you a little trick that I found because I'm searching for a crack in the engine room. Well, at least now the bilge I've sucked out of the water, and at least now we found out why we've got so many mosquitoes on the boat. So there was mosquito larvae in the water, in the fresh water. So yeah, it's as dry as I can get it. And I've got the big fan here, so we're going to plug that in and let this place dry out. Ooh, nice breeze. That should dry in no time. Okay, next little mission, as I mentioned, was the engine room. So I'm now down here in the engine room. In the engine compartment, it does leak slightly because of this repair that was done. There's a couple of little cracks that I'm going to get to. They're only sacrificial, really. It doesn't really mean much. But there's 3 places in here. Down behind the engine, where you've got the rudder stock. In the bilge pan here, where you can get oil caught if you've got a leak. And here at the front. Now, I'm going to show you in a second, underneath the boat, from in the area where the sail drive is, we're actually getting a bit of, there's still water coming out. So it's got to be coming from one of these puddles, i.e. from rainwater getting in here. But I don't know which section it's from, which one of the 3. So what I bought, Erica got me yesterday, was assorted food colour and egg dye. So what we're going to do, I'm going to change the 3 puddles of water into 3 different colours. Then we're going to leave it for a few days and have a look from underneath, as again, I'll go and show you in a second. You can see the stream of water, and we'll see what colour comes out. So then that will give me an idea, as an inclination, as to where is the water actually coming through. We never took on salt water from here, so it's a bit strange. Maybe something moved after we put on the hard or something like that. But it's definitely something I need to find out, because there shouldn't be water coming out anymore. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone with green here, just behind the sail drive. You can't really see under the engine pan with this camera. That's gone with red, and we've got blue at the back here around the rudder stock. So let's see how long that takes before I get a funny colour coming out under the boat. Okay, so this is the area. You see this water line from here coming down rudder stock and then down and dripping off the boat. Now this water has never stopped since we come out the water. I have done a taste test on it. It never tasted salty, tasted kind of mucky. So I'm thinking, well, I'm not really sure where it's coming from, to us. Sometimes if we wash the back sugar scoop, it comes back there and could travel around. But sometimes when it's completely dry, I see it coming from this area, which looks like a tiny little crack, hairline crack here. But we'll find out. So I'm just going to wait and see if that colour changes, and that'll tell us which area it's coming from. All right, so this morning's been a lot of planning, looking, done a few jobs, as I mentioned earlier, with the bilge and stuff. But looking at the way the boat is propped up and the repairs that I need to do, I need to change the way the boat is lifted. So at the moment, there's not full weight on the keels here, but due to these damages that we have on the side of the boat, this is slightly pushed up. So I can see that from in the bilge. On the other side, it's not at all. It's actually quite straight. It's quite good. But on this side here, it's definitely pushing up, and it's pushing up towards the floor. So I've got to get the weight off of this keel so that it can drop back down. So as when I do the repairs, they're actually going to be correct, and they're not going to change when the pressure is taken off, when you lift the boat, put it back in the water. So to do that, I've just spoken with Isaac here in the yard, and we actually have a lifting point, which is here. There it is, just here. So he's going to have 2 jacks made for me, which is fantastic. Thank you, Isaac, so much. Small jacks that just go from the ground up here and take the pressure here. And with the other 2 jacks we've got underneath, and I'll mirror it on the other side, obviously. We're going to take, so we'll be able to take the blocks out here, and the 2 keels then will be hanging freely in the air. With them hanging freely in the air, I'll feel more confident in the repair that we do, that once we put the boat back in the water, it's not going to completely change shape. It will just be a lot more solid. But before we do that, I want to repair everything that's behind the keel. Now, there is a couple of cracks here. We've got one here and one on the other side. And one here. This is the one where I went through because I did it with the grinder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair these areas, because obviously the lift point is here, which is kind of close to the damages. These damages, when they were only done during the lift. Unfortunately, we placed it slightly wrong. Got a couple of cracks. Not too bothered. We're going to repair those now. So anything behind the keel, we'll get those repaired in the next couple of days while the 2 new jacks are being made, and we'll do the same on the other side. Then we can jack it up, prop it up, sort of resettle the boat, if you will, and then we can crack on again with the midsection repair so that we know it's done perfectly. All right, so as you can see there, I've done about 4 or 5 swipes over this area. I've been working my way in as I start, so it's actually feathering it down. This area here has now taken away the delamination. I'm going to go one more swipe over. You see there is still some here. So we're back to good glass here, all this area, but it feathers up a little bit more here. So we're going to give it another go over, and I'm missing a tiny bit here as well. So let's give it one more buzz over, then we should be able to just lightly sand it and start to rebuild it. So that's it. The final result after the peeling has left us that. So it just needs a quick sanding over, a bit of 60 grit. Then we can start the repair. Now the really interesting part of this is if you look at the opposite side, it's a mirror image of the same damage, but I worked on it with a grinder. So this took me probably 45 minutes, and what happened? We wore through. Because you don't have the control with the grinder that you do with the peeler. It didn't get the feathered area, didn't get far enough out, and also we end up with a big hole. So this one here is going to have to be a double-sided repair. I will do the repair first from the outside because I'm going to have to demolish the bedroom to get to the inside. But that is the difference between having the gel coat peeler and just using a standard grinder.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Saturday to see what's next.